Welcome back to a new packet. This is Unit 8, I believe. We're working on quadratic functions. So far, we have done lines. They can go up or they can go down. We've done exponential functions, which start off really, really small and get big. Or the opposite, start off really, really big and get really, really small. Now, the difference between those and quadratic functions is quadratics do both. They can go down and up to make a U shape, or opposite, up and then back down. One big thing with quadratics, actually, let's go back to lines. When you have a line, the exponent is actually an invisible one, okay? When you have an exponential, you have a number as the base, and your exponent is in the x. Now, for a quadratic, you can have a whole lot of stuff going on, but you have to have an exponent of 2. So now if we look down here on the definition of a quadratic, you have to have a 2 in the exponent. That is your biggest exponent. We're going to do practice. I'm working with Google Docs, so we'll see how this goes. Exercise 2 says consider the simplest of all quadratic functions. Remember, f of x means y, so we are going to graph y equals x squared. And now I'm not at school using a graphing calculator, so this video is going to look a little bit different. What I did was I screenshotted what you should do on the graphing calculator. So part A says fill in the table below without using your calculator. Well, we're always going to double check with our calculator. So let me go to, if it lets me, here's my screenshot. Get a little bigger. Whoa, not that big. Oh boy, sorry folks. So what I did, remember I went to y equals, and I typed in x exponent 2, and this is what popped up. Then you can hit the graph button just to see what this looks like. Oops. Here it is. Here's our U shape. Now, the graph is a good place to see what it looks like, but this is not where you want to go to get points because there could be decimals, there could be all sorts of weird things going on. So what I'm going to do now is to get the table, you go to second graph. And let's see what they want us to look at. So they want us to start at -3 and go to 3. Okay, on the x. So what I am going to do is copy from here to here. Okay, remember these make points when x is -3, y is 9. So I'm going to go back to my Google Doc and enter this information in. 9, 4. Okay, and now I'm going to plot these points. The first is -3, 2, 3, 4. -3, 9. -2, 4. Now, a quadratic, or the graph of a quadratic is called a parabola, so you'll hear me use that word sometimes. So a quadratic function is a U shape. Okay, you're not seeing a very pretty U. It's okay. It's not made with like straight connecting segments. So I'm going to just write my graph name, y equals x squared. Now we're going to do a little bit of vocabulary. So vertex, part C, what is the vertex? The vertex is the turning point. I don't know why there's a, which is right here. It's where the graph shifts direction. And in this case, I'm going to just label this vertex. Our vertex is 0, 0. Can I get it all? Okay. The axis of symmetry. Symmetry is where two sides of something match. So the axis of symmetry cuts the parabola in half. So our axis of symmetry would be right here. Okay. And it's always an x equals, and just pick your x number. So in this case, it's 0. It's where that invisible line crosses the x-axis. Another word, zeros are x-intercepts. In this case, we got x equals 0. And y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis. In this case, y equals 0. This is the most basic of all quadratic functions because it is the most basic of all. It's called a parent function. Okay, we will move on to more complicated types. So let's go to the next page. This page will go fairly quickly. And this is going to become much more important in our future lessons, but for now, since we're just starting quadratic functions, we'll take a look at this. So here's our form. There's a specific form, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So the a's, b's, and c's, those are just stand for numbers. The important thing to notice, a is in front of the x squared, b is in front of the plane x, and c is the number that's all by itself. So for this exercise, we're just going to say what the a, b, and c are. So 3 is in front of the x squared, so our a is 3. It's not 3x squared, it's just a 3. B is negative 2. C is 6. For the next one, we have 1x squared plus 5x minus 3. A is 1. B is 5. C is negative 3. Okay, try letter C. Pause this, then check your work. A is 4. B is negative 2. C is 9. Oops. Letter D is a little bit tricky. There's only 2 terms. This is a binomial. So we have our x squared term and then a minus 6. We're missing that middle section. So technically it's a plus 0x. So A is 1, B is 0, C is negative 6. Now try E and F. So for letter E, A is negative 6, B is negative 3, and C is 1. For 7, A is 2, B is negative 7. There is no number that's all by itself, so C is 0. The next 2 pages, we're going to practice graphing these things. They are going to get a little bit trickier, so stay tuned.